Good morning, everyone. It is the 25th of December 2023. Welcome back to another weekly analysis, Funny Fella FX. Hope you all had a good weekend. I did. Had a little. Suppose here's me going off. Going to start telling my life story again. People's just tuning in for the weekly analysis, but we're all human, aren't we? I like to know what other people's doing too. So I'm a big rugby fan, and any Irish lads out there and women, listen to this. We beat South Africa in the Rugby World Cup. And I watched the game back again yesterday, and I was like, that was like men on both sides. By the way, I'm not just talking about Ireland. What a game of rugby! Like them, they are stanchions. Them men, like so. You just gotta admire it. Like, how does somebody that big, right? That strong. Usually, when you see somebody that big and strong, you think there's no cardio. Like, they could lift weights all day, and yet they can run for 80 minutes straight into each other. It's sometimes you just got to sit back and admire that. But I suppose where I'm going with this story is I put a post up last night because it's like just think about it there. Um, Ireland, a nation, small island of 6 million people, roughly, just beat the continent. Of 1.4 billion or 1.5 billion in the Rugby World Cup. And of course, I got a message this morning from a mate of mine saying there's only 60 million in South Africa, you rocket. And then I was like, how did I get that so wrong? So, of course, I embarrassingly uh, took Africa as the whole of South Africa. And of course, that's not the case. So, apologies to anybody from there. Um, I would say they hate people making that mistake. So, my bad. Apologies. I rectified the post, and it costed a couple of pints yesterday. I was watching the rest of the rugby, and I was out with the brother-in-law, and, a few Guinness. Lesson learned this week is never ever drink and post. All right, so just wake up in the morning, have a think about it instead. But yeah, I don't know why I waffled that story, but I don't want to. I'm not going to be this like. I don't know, like a robot thing. I want people to get to know me. And apologies, I'm sniffing here too. That's annoying on the other end. Just got a bit of a head cold. I've actually had it for about a month, really. Cannot shift it. But anyway, look, let's look at this weekly analysis on Euro USD. Now, previous week, bear with me, I'd never really watched them back because I like to start off fresh again. But I know we talked about we taking out this low. This one did take it out. Let's zoom in a bit, actually. I spoke about this low here, and I'll put a wee ray on it. I'm gonna fix it up a little just so it's not too far off. I'm not gonna be wild precise because you can see where I am. By the way, folks, Black Bull, this one, alright. I do all my analysis on trading on Black Bull. So if your chart looks a little bit different, I don't say Black Bull up here, Euro USD Black Bull, then that is why. So just change your charts over. If you want to stick with my weekly analysis. So I had this, it did come down. I said in the previous that it wasn't far enough. Like it needs to come down and punch in further. So it did that, but it did not close below that. So again, for this to be full on bearish, for me to change my bias, it needs to close beyond this here and beyond this here little void. Because for me, if it does, it'll use this void here. All right. It's like a means of running up into. So this is what I expect, by the way. This is to come down and attack these lows. That's my next eyeball. Come down, spike up into this, use this just as a reason to push off even further. And yes, I will put my neck in the line and say that. Is that going to happen right away? I can't say because we've been going down here for weeks. All right. Weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 weeks solid. Is there a pullback? Can I pull back into this little inverse for a value gap now? I don't think it will. I think it's just going to start running for these now. So that's where my eye is now on the weekly. Um, with the weekly, you should start off every week thinking which is going to be easier. Is it going to be easier to take out the previous week's high or low? All right, which one? It's obviously going to be the previous week's low. All right, that's the one that's going to make more sense. Now, does that mean it's going to open up on Monday, which is Monday today, and just take it out right away? I don't think so. I do believe it always likes to open up and run up higher a little. Plus, it'll take out what I like to call Friday's high. I feel like it's going to take this out. And if I go down into, let's say, the 15-minute, Friday high is. Where are you, Friday high? Friday high is here. All right. So just double check. And the Friday high is here. All right. So why do I want to see take out Friday high again? Monday, for me is always a day of manipulation. I would rather buy into this, all right, because to me it is buy side liquidity. Here, here, and here, all right. And I just always like to see Monday run in the opposite direction of what I actually want to see. So that's why. That's why I want to see that taken out first. And it is again going to the daily. It's the Friday high. I like to see it be taken out. Where will it run into and why should it run into? There's this big price imbalance, in the 4 hour here. So that all makes sense. It all tells that story as I talk about. Run up, fill in this price imbalance, take out the liquidity as in buy side or the Friday high, and use that liquidity, all right, to come down and take out the previous week's low. Again, folks, it doesn't make sense for it to come up and start taking out these highs because it's already done that. All right. Yes, there is this price imbalance up in here. It's never been filled. But on the daily, we've already had these run ups into these imbalances. We've already covered them in by this one up here. So we'll have to be sitting on our hands, thinking sensibly, waiting for me, definitely, and it should be for you, just taking the weekly in the perspective, it's way more likely to take out that weekly low than the weekly high. So let's play the game of probabilities and start attacking these lower, the sell side liquidity. All right, now and I flicked on this admittedly, just being curious. Like I like to flick through my pairs, even though I do not do the weekly analysis on GBP, USD, and USD CAD as of yet. I'm looking at the British pound here, right? And this gives me even more of an indication that the euro will go further because this is on the weekly, by the way. This low was broken. This low was smashed through last week and closed beyond it. All right. So I'd run through that. Let's go sell side liquidity. Oh, well, trade now. Okay. I'm not going to arse about and try and fix that, but um, it's run through it and closed beyond it. Okay. So it's giving that indication that the bias is starting to change. Yes, there is a little void down in here. You need to be aware of these, all right? You have to keep your eye on them because they could be the turning point. This does not mean it moves exactly like Euro USD, but you can see that it is very similar to Euro USD. All right, so if I flick that across to Euro USD again on the weekly, it's going to look pretty similar. Do you see what I mean? So you can use, and I do use, GBP USD as a. Sometimes it tells the future of Euro USD, for example, because again, this weekly has closed beyond that. What's it going to go for next? Either filling in these voids or it's just going to start attacking these lows and fill in this price imbalance. So it's another indication for me, even though this hasn't done it here technically. All right. Yes, it's spiked through, has not closed through, but there's this huge price imbalance here on the weekly. That that's why it's coming back if it wants to come this far. That's the reason. Take out this, take out this, take out this, take out this, fill up this price imbalance. All right. That's why I'm attracted there. Is that just going to go? I mean, this is for anybody that's new to trading. Excuse me. Is that just going to go straight till it? Is there going to be any pullbacks in it? Is it just going to like one big straight line the whole time? Excuse me, the whole time down to that? No, of course it's not. That doesn't mean every single day you should be looking for sells, right? This is just where the strength is. That's just where the probability lies, is in sells. That's what it's looking like until it tells you any different, right? And that might be the day you might lose a trade or a couple of trades because it's starting to move the other way again. Until then, this is people always ask, like, how do you know to keep selling? How do you know? Because that's what it's telling you to do. It's telling you to sell. If it doesn't, right, sit in your. If you're like, oh my god, I don't know what this is doing here, or it's not working out as expected, then sit on your hands. Don't do anything. All right, just wait. Doesn't mean you're clueless to trading. In fact, if you are waiting when you don't see what the market is completely telling you to do, it actually means you're a very good trader because you've had the sense to be like, okay, anything beyond not knowing where it's going is a gamble. You are not a gambler. If you are just guessing, then guess what? You are a gambler. And yes, you might get lucky for a while. And yes, it might work out sometimes. But in the grand scale of trading, and I'm talking from experience, your account will decimate and it will blow. All right. So don't do that. Don't make the same mistakes I did. Trade in the direction of the major bias. All right. Right now, folks, it's already attacked these. It just needs to close blow it and it needs to romp through that. And if it wants to do that, this beyond all is what catches you should catch your eye the most. Now I don't talk about the monthly too often, but there's only a few days left in this month. So this is what'll give me even more of a indication. So if I just mark up this little imbalance, right, properly, nice and tidy, or tidier, should I say, because I'm not a total precision when it comes to this, because I don't wanna make these videos way long for you to bore the life out of you. But this monthly calendar, you can see there's like what 4 days, 15 hours. So this week really, if this closes beyond this low here now, all right, we've had a major shift on the monthly. And again, monthly stronger and weekly, so on and so forth. Weekly stronger and daily, so on and so forth. That's important. So this low here, right? If this closes beyond it, what's it going to go for? What makes it super duper clear on the monthly? What's the next liquidity? This sell side here. All right. And you can see if it closed beyond that there's this little price imbalance. So could it run up a little and then sink again? Yes, that's what I mean. That the market just doesn't go in straight directions. All right. This will people get caught in like, oh my god, like I was supposed to sell this week and I lost money, and I know that, but you have to understand that there's stages, there's programs to this algorithm, right? So it can't just sell and sell and sell and sell and sell, because then it will be super duper easy, right? See, so you could just turn around, put a sell trade in here, and just sell forever, until it starts going the other way. For example, it moves up and down. All that is it's making liquidity, right? So it might come up and attack this high again, and then plummet, right, and then start doing this again. You use your head, think about it logically, like, and I don't mean that in an ignorant way. Use your head. I just mean that's the logical thing to do. It's never a straightforward line, right? So yes, I'll be very interested to see how this monthly candle closes on Euro USD, and by the end of the week, I would, if it closes beyond this, then all signs point south. May it want to come up and fill in a little imbalance from this candle's low to when the next month opens? Yes, it may. We be smart about it, folks. What's it easier to do? What's the most logical thing for it to do this week? So I'll just flick back to the weekly here. It's more it's more inclined because we are moving downwards to attack this low. All right, that's what's more inclined to. How would I like to start off my Monday? How you should start off your Monday is, let's just go to the daily. All right, let's look for it to attack possibly the Friday high. All right, and I'm just going to mark this out and show you why. Go down to straight into 15 minutes because I'm not gonna play about. It's all buy side liquidity here. All right, the Friday high. So we'll take it from here across to here. Buy side liquidity. Run up and fill a few imbalances and pulling the fib from the high, let's say, to the low. We're only interested in sales if it goes beyond this 50. All right. So fair value gap, order blocks, price imbalance up here also. Be aware of it. All right. Let it come up. Let it move about like this, and people very eager to get in and starting their Monday off wrong and losing. Let them loose. You just sit in your hands and let it take out either buy side liquidity first, which again I'd like to see. If it takes out sell side liquidity first, I'm going to set my hands and review the market again, so to speak. And the guys in the mentorship, they know, excuse me, they know that I'm going to start doing like everybody knows the term tape reading, don't they? So just going to read the market like not every day, just because I'm stuck for time. But when I get the chance, I'm going to do like a rundown of the market, like what's happened. So where did it take liquidity? When did it take liquidity? Why did it take liquidity? Here's what it run into. Here's what it reversed. Here's the time it done it in. So on and so forth. And then they and I get to refresh even myself. So even though I've been doing it 5 odd years, I like to do it. You know, I love doing it every day just to say I read that right, or here's a wee thing I could improve on. I am always improving myself, right? Even though I'm funded and all the rest, and that's how I make my living. Um, I'm always looking to get better, and the likes of tape reading or explaining what's happened, even that day, if it's already happened, perfect. Go back, look what's happened that day. Because when you do that over and 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 over again, right? It all it all ingrains in your brain, and then it becomes second nature to you. Right? Then it becomes easy to sit in your hands when you need to. Then it becomes easy to enter a trade when you should. Right? So trading isn't just about I must learn this strategy and that's all I need to stick to, all right? You know, you must always sharpen your tools, all right? Every single day, Monday to Friday. You want to do it over the weekend, so be it. I'll spend my time with my family. But that's the weekly analysis, folks. I will just do a quick rundown again just to make it clear because I know I tend to ramble a bit at times and possibly talk 100 mile an hour. And for anybody that doesn't understand the Irish accent, I apologise. Just write in the comments when I slow it down. I just wanna, I just wanted to make it a bit clear for me. I will not take insult to that because I understand we can talk 100 mile an hour at times and confuse the life out of people. So that's not what I want to do. So previous week's high, previous week's candlestick is more likely to take out this high or this low. It's the low, all right, because it's coming down there. Can it take out the high? Yeah, but until then, that is just makes sense, right? To start attacking these lows, to start filling this imbalance. Quick look at the daily. Gonna come up and take out this buy side liquidity of Friday and Thursday and run up into the little going down the 4 hour way into this imbalance, fill it up, and then sink over? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is Monday. All right. And I should mention what news is out today. Uh, no news today. All right. So this is news tomorrow, Tuesday. And this week, let's look at this week. What one stands out for me the most? All right. Gross domestic produce. That's a biggish one. That tells really gives you an indication of the economy. If it's growing, the US dollar is going to get stronger. Initial jobs, Powell speaking, very late at night for us here in Dublin, London, etc. time zone. Anybody, anybody trading GBP, take note of this. The gross domestic product. Also, Euro CPI, which is just inflation, as you should all know by now, and yeah, so not a massive week of news, but some hard hitters. Like sometimes this can just be really like you expect it to do more, but it doesn't. Um, you just got to sit. I don't trade the news like maybe people do. I don't. Right, I like to have my money made before and after. As I call it, like picking up the pieces, the massacre that's happened, where people think they can put a stop loss, 10 pip stop loss in, and it don't jump their stop loss, and it does. So there's no point in trading massively big news. This one is not a huge week of news. It is like you do have your price index also. These are things just to be careful of. You don't want to be uh, in a nice, good winning trade and not take at least some profits off and leave yourself safe. All right. Just be wary of it. But look at all this liquidity it's building up, right? It's just doing a nice job. But right now, so let me move this. Um, and it just makes sense, folks, doesn't it? Up Monday, manipulation. Take out the buy side, start attacking the sell side. On loads of times. Oh my god, I keep burping and sniffling. Apologies. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. Run through this. Run through this. Um, Start filling up this price and balance that we've seen. Okay. Um, Now, people have asked me on the free end for more videos. I apologies, I know I haven't done any in weeks. And I did speak about possibly in our videos of why. I'm not going to go into that again, but it's simply because life got in the road and sickness and tragedy in the family. So, I have to take a wee step back, and then the mentorship guys come first. They're the ones, and I mean that respectfully. It's just they've put an investment in themselves, right? So I gotta respect that, and I do respect that. So they're always going to come first in that sense. Like, it does mean, I have forgot about the ones in the free. It's just I can only give so much information away, and then it becomes like I need to be one on one with you. You know what I mean? It's not trading is not going to be learned just by. I don't believe so anyway. Is firing a lack of videos at you and expecting you to become a trader. It just doesn't work that way. And because it's the mental side of trading, um, everyone's so different. Like everyone is so different. Some people are so driven and have a bit of time in their hands, and they're they'll they'll make leaps and bounds ahead of somebody that just doesn't have that time yet. Um, and maybe isn't putting in the same effort, just simply because there is two reasons: laziness or life's got in the way. You know, it happens. Don't feel bad about it. If you're wanting to become a trader and say you've been doing it for a year and you're upset and thinking to yourself, "I'm never going to get this," don't worry. You will get it. It's just your time scale can be so much different than somebody else's. Right? Just because Joe Blogs has made himself or herself a trader in a year and you haven't doesn't mean that you won't get it. It's maybe that they had the time and the money possibly just to put their whole life and soul into it, or maybe they're just young and they don't have any overheads or they don't have any um the pile of time in their hands. Or maybe a family backing them. It's everybody's so different. Like if you're one of the people that you don't have really money and you don't really have time and you have to work to obviously keep a roof over your head. I've been there. I know that journey, especially that journey. And again, I don't like you should not look at somebody that has made it quicker than you, maybe has, a wee bit easier route than you. Let's say, don't uh, don't be jealous of that person. Like, what I mean is, like, take something from them, as in the sense, like, I wouldn't be afraid to ask them, like, what did you do that maybe fast tracked you to this? And they might say to you, I worked 18-hour days of this every day. It doesn't matter your life situation in the sense to learning this. It all takes a lot of effort from the rich to the poor to actually master this here. And by master, I mean you become a profitable trader, because, as I mentioned in the previous minutes back, I'm always looking to get better at this myself. Always, always, always. So you should too, no matter how good you get. And again, I've said this, why I love trading is because there is no cap to this. There is no, like, cut off point unless you set that cut off point yourself. So when I make X amount of money, consistently, I will want to make more, not out of greed, just out of, I like to set myself goals, or I do become bored with it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. And I've been the same my whole life. I've been exactly the same. No matter what job I've done, I've always wanted to go a little bit further. Again, not out of greed, just out of, if I don't, I go brain dead, as in I get bored. I start to hate what I do, because it becomes monotonous and repetitive. Trading will never be that for me, and it'll never be that for you, because, again, there is no limitations. You can just keep pushing yourself. You can get more funded accounts. You can get bigger funded accounts. You can, aim for a bigger profit, but don't start off with a massive, target of, I'm going to make thousands upon thousands every week, because you're not. I'm sorry, you're not. It just doesn't work that way. Why not just work yourself out of, what can I survive on? All right. So whenever you get that good and you can get your funded account, think to yourself, like, what can I survive on? What I spend every day. Like, if it is £50 a day, or £100 a day, or maybe £300 a day, um, that's your first target. Then you can come home, then you can sit at the computer and do revision and go over things and practice things, and then you get better quicker. Because you have that kind of financial backing behind you. You can trade. You can get more prop firms. You can get a bigger funded account. And then it kind of snowballs after that, all right? So that's what I'm trying to say. And I know I've kind of went off a wee bit here on the weekly analysis, but again, this is how I operate, all right? If people don't like it, I don't care. I'm just an Irish lad from Ireland. I want to see people do well. I want this to help them do well. And I want you to be able to understand how to read the markets and how to build confidence in yourself. And the mistakes I made, like, as in, somebody tells you to sell that week, it's doesn't mean it's just going to go directly down. All right. There's so many moving pieces to this you had to piece together. But the weekly analysis is the foundation to start every single week. Because then you know what the probability is. Right? You need to go to yourself, all right, I'll listen to Finney for a while. And if you're going to listen to me, I've said this to boys in mentorship, then listen to me and me alone. I do not want to be compared to any other trader. And I mean that hugely respectful to any trader that can actually trade. I'm not saying they cannot trade at all. I just mean, and they'll tell you this too, by the way, they trade different than me, all right? And vice versa. And that does not mean they cannot trade. It just means if you're listening to one, two, if you're listening to anything beyond two, three, four traders, we're all going to have conflicting views. So you bump heads, and then there's that much information. Well, Finney said sell, and then this other guy or girl said buy, and put into this, and their spots, they're aiming different, and etc., etc. You're going to absolutely confuse the life out of yourself. You really are. Again, I am not telling you to follow me. I'm saying just listen to one trader. If you don't like me, but you like somebody else, then never listen to me again. Never ever. There's no point. It's I'm here to help in the sense that I'm going to point you in the right direction no matter what. Like if it costs me followers or subscribers, no, which I couldn't give a shit about. Excuse my language. Um, so be it. I'd rather somebody do well. I'd rather somebody do well because I know what it's like to struggle at this here and to think you're never going to get it. This is one of the reasons why you're not getting it if you're following a bunch of odd traders. It's pointless. It is completely pointless. Pick one and leave it at that. If it's me, thank you very much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. I will not point you in the wrong direction. I will keep you in the right foot. I will keep you grounded, and I'll be honest with you, and I'll be real with you at all times. And I'll tell you when you're doing well, and I'll tell you when you're not. And if it's not me, I wish you all the best. Just make sure whoever you're following is a good trader, all right? So I'll leave it at that. Sorry about the rambles. I'm never going to give them up. That's what I do. I've been told a few times maybe it's to start a podcast and ramble on it. And maybe I should because maybe maybe the psychological end of things will help people just to hear me talking about what that journey of trading actually is. It's not what you see on Instagram. It's not what you see in most YouTube channels, like all these perfectly executed trades and some tube landing in a Lambo with a big cigar and a glass of brandy. Like, what is going on with that? I don't know. It's not me. Anyway, look, I'm going to stop rambling right enough. I can't help it. I'm just excited about the excited today. Every day I'm excited. You get up, you wake up, you should be happy. Regardless of your situation, have that belief that no matter how bad it is, no matter what, you're going to get this. And this might roll on a bit longer than expected, but I put in a post and I got a bit of slagging from the guys in the mentorship. I look back, I thought, oh God, maybe I said this wrong, but I've had so many people say to me um, that are interested in trading, okay? I'm not good with numbers or I was bad with math. And I'm like, trading is not, has never had anything to do with numbers. You don't need to be a mathematical genius or, you know, have a unbelievable academic score. You don't need that. You just need to be relentless. All right. So, like, I put up a post. This is just on my personal Facebook, and I'll read it out. Excuse me. I wrote, folks, I just want to clear two things up. One, trading is not about numbers. Two, I don't take on just anyone in the mentorship, and I don't. The fellas I teach aren't academically gifted. All right. Now, what by that I meant they aren't astrophysicists. All right. So they're not stupid, like they're child lads. But the message me in the group, tongue in cheek, they're laughing about it. Like, is this? I'll not say the word, calling us dumbasses or something. No, LOL. And I laughed and I thought, oh my God, I've maybe said this or worded it the wrong way. What I just meant was these guys are relentless. Like, so it doesn't matter. That's what I wrote. They aren't academically gifted. They are relentlessly gifted. And by relentlessly, I mean they know they're going to make it. Like they don't know how long it's going to take. They don't know the journey. They just know in the end they will win. So they just won't quit. And that's what it takes. I wrote, want to be successful trading question mark. All you need is the right attitude, not attributes. All right. So you could be the smartest man in the world for all I care. But if you are not relentless in learning and being teachable and accepting the defeats and moving forward, um, you're not going to be successful, right? And I wrote, don't sit on the sidelines because you done SHIT at school, because guess what? So did I. So did I. All right. So you don't need to be an absolute rocket scientist. All right. You just need to be a worker and push past motivation, because motivation, as I've said loads of times, it will die off. All right. It's going to die off 100%. You're going to have atrocious runs of trading. Like you're going to have 15, 20 losses in a row of trading at times. And then you're going to be like, oh, this doesn't work. It does. It's just one of them moments. So you have to learn to push through that and keep going. Be relentless. All right. That people that need everything precise will not make it. You know what I mean? They can't mentally accept that sometimes 2 plus 2 equals 5 in trading. All right, they can't accept that it's not a guaranteed result. Do you know what I mean? Like a 2 plus 2 is 4 is guaranteed. Like that's you cannot change that. In trading, sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And the psychological end of trading is that destroys people. They cannot accept losses at times, especially at the beginning. Right? They can't accept it. Their mentality just they can't get past that. They'll get hurt by it, and then they're afraid, and then it just never works out for them after. So when I say I don't take on anyone in the mentorship, I mean that I can pretty much tell their attitude after a little, a chat with them. And I'm not a salesman. I don't try and sell the mentorship. It's people come to me, right, and I'll talk to them for a while, even though they might ask about it and all. I won't get into that conversation straight away, and it's not out of like that. It's not out of like disrespect. It's like I'm not a salesman. I'm not here to be like, oh, here, buy my mentorship. It'll change your life. If that person doesn't have the right mindset to do so, I can tell pretty much after a few conversations, and then I will either say to them the mentorship is full, and I'm sorry if you're one of them people I did say that to. It's just I don't want you wasting your money or your time, and I don't like wasting my time. I honestly don't. I love the guys that's in my mentorship, and I mean not they're respectfully, lads. I do because they're just. If it feels like I've got a bunch of brothers now, because they've all got the same attitude. Different personalities, absolutely. Same attitude, absolutely. Relentless fellas. The no matter what they do, wouldn't matter if it was trading or not, they will do well at it. Do you know what I mean? So, um, that's what I mean by it. That's what I mean by it. You don't have to be the smart one in the family. You don't have to have huge, unbelievable grades. And guess what? If you have both, then that's awesome. Respect to you. But if you're the wee lamb sitting on the sideline worried about, oh, I done really bad at school, or I couldn't concentrate in school, or I never even finished school, you're probably perfect for it then. Because like me, I could not concentrate in school because nothing interested me in school. And yet, when I left school, everything I done, I mastered, like in a sense that if anybody does know me, I was a stonemason to begin with, completed it. All right. Well, in the sense that it became easy. Same with bricklaying, worked in the mines, operated every sort of machinery, rigged the cranes, massive lifts, etc., etc. Um, it all became easy after a while, and that's why I lost interest. Even though the money was outstanding, I just lost interest in it because it didn't challenge me mentally how I wanted it to. All right, and it took me till I was 34 or 5 to figure that out. Like I couldn't understand why I could not settle in a job. I don't mean was I ever sacked? No, I was never sacked. None of that. I just mean I couldn't settle, and I started to founder a bit in the sense that I just was mentally bored and exhausted from it. and it wouldn't matter what money I was offered, I would have left and went and done something else because that challenge was not there. Um, Maybe not everybody's built like that, and it doesn't make me special. By the way, it's just how I am. And I find that when you just be yourself, you don't have to go after anybody. You don't have to look for these people. Just by God's grace, let's say, they come to you, and then you realize how alike you all are, and that's the people you want to be around. Is people that are on the same wavelength as you. You know, and you will repel people that aren't. Not in the You don't hate them, no, no, and you don't look down on anybody. They just don't. Um, they're just not like you, so you don't really rub shoulders that much. You tend to yes, say hello, be courteous, and that's the way you should be. Um, but you don't really run in them circles. You just kind of find your own. And sorry, I'm going off into this rambles. Some people love the ramble. Some people probably have turned the video off ages ago. I don't really care. Um, but because I know the psychological end of trading is so important, and it goes off into life a lot, it's important for me to talk about it. So I'll leave it at that, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in again. Please give us a follow. Um, on the channel. I'm going to start maybe getting more videos of live trades posted up, etc. If you aren't on the Discord group, the links in the comment section, the description section. It's the free material is very good. I will say that, maybe sound like a cocky prick, but it is. It's not just waffle. It's not like trash. It's not, it's useless because it's free. Absolutely not. It's the perfect place to start trading. Again, if you want to go beyond that, then we must go deeper. But there's only so much I can explain in a video. Beyond that, I need to talk to people one on ones and lives and etc. And I need that dedication in yourself for me to do it, because I'm not going to give everything away to people that just take, take, take. I'm not doing it. I don't. It's not that I disrespect them people. It's just they've no respect for themselves, that they're not willing to invest in themselves. So if you're new to trading and you want to get into it, go onto the Discord group. The link, as I say, will be in the description. There's a pile of free stuff, pile of it, and I'm going to keep adding to it. I haven't added as much because there's only so much to say I can add to it. And again, I'm kind of swamped outside of that also. So yeah, give us a wee comment, thumbs up, subscribe. I appreciate all that. Follow us on Instagram, FunnyFellaFX. All them wee things give me the motivation to keep on teaching, to keep on giving stuff away, info, and helping people. I like to do that, but I don't want to feel like I'm talking to myself sometimes. But thanks very much, folks. Look for sales, look for the obvious. What is the market most likely to do in a bearish pullback? Let's say, where's the liquidity? What's the easiest end of the weekly candle, the previous weekly candle, for it to reach? At the minute, as we talk, it's the low end. So look for the sales. You just got to look for the right moment. All right. So take care, folks. God bless. Thank you very much. And I will talk to you again next week. Cheers.